They got a nice escape road there, you know, so no big deal, no drama, you know. So come back and tighten that up, and then in the Formula 500, I mean, whatever they call it, 500, and I couldn't hang with it. It was going well. And again, I wasn't happy with the handle, but anyway, it was good for the first time out.
Okay. Well, Dave Roper, welcome back to the Isle of Man. It's been a few years since you've been here, but the main thing that people remember you for at the TT is your historic win in 1984. That was quite some time ago.
Yeah, it's getting to be a while ago now. I guess that was the peak of my career, and it's been downhill ever since.
Well, there's only ever been one historic TT, and your name's on it. So
yes.
You and Steve Cull go down in the books, and it was a fine win for all that. You had to go to win it.
I did. It was difficult conditions because we had rain, we had sun, we had it was late in the evening, and the sun was low and off the visor, and it was very difficult conditions, and maybe I was a bit lucky.
Did you get any recognition at home? Because Americans don't seem to understand what we do here at the TT. Totally different sort of thing, really.
Well, maybe the masses don't understand, but there is a subcult that definitely understands, and people do follow the TT there, and I may have been a bit of a trail baker, because several of my friends have come since then and to either the Manx or the TT, and no, there's lots of interest, and often people come and ask me advice on how to do it, and of course my advice to them is always come here and spectate first and really understand what you're getting into, because it's a big undertaking, but by all means do that, yeah.
Well, we've got some journalists here from a magazine called GQ, and that was all coordinated from your home city of New York, so perhaps they're going to learn a bit more about it. But we're glad to see you back, because we thought you weren't coming anymore. So.
No, it was just, busy with racing in the States, and it is a huge undertaking, and particularly from the States and the logistics and so forth, and no, I'd like to race again, although the last time I raced here I did come off, and it really reinforced to me that you really got to do it right. It's serious business and no half measures, and so I'd like to do it again, but definitely got to do it right.
But it was a pity, really, because you were going well on the Benelli in practice, and then you just got a bit out of hand at the left-hander at Kerrimore there, and
yeah.
She slipped away.
Well, we were trying to save the bike in practice. We didn't know how reliable it was, and so we tried to keep the revs down and we brought over a 7R that I could practice on, but it turned out that was of little use because the 7R is so different than Benelli, and so when the race came, I was going faster than I had practiced at, and so I was really getting ahead of myself, and just turned a bit late there in Kerrimore.
Will you be back for the Classic Manx for anything else then?
We're talking about doing that next year, and perhaps on a 3-valve 7R.
Yeah, I remember these when they were the vogue at the time, McIntyre and Farrant and Robin Sherry and people like that.
Rod Coleman.
Rod Coleman. How did he? Well, he won, of course, the
yes.
54 350.
Right.
It was a 5-lapper, as I remember. And it was a good win for him, although at the expense of Ray Am, who retired. But Rod was going pretty well on it, yeah. So how did you find it round here?
It's good. The bike was overgeared a bit, and but I had no troubles. It was a joy.
Would it be any good for the 350 Manx, do you think?
Well, I don't think it's a winner, no. But it could be a fun ride, and people enjoy seeing it. I mean, we don't all have to be on replica short stroke, look-alike modern sound of singles bikes. So.
Well, you also ride the MVs for the Team Obsolete, don't you? Inichi's machines?
Well, I have done. It's been a little while.
At Assen you did?
Yes, I did. Yeah. But I, in my old age, I think I may stick to the singles.
Okay, well, we'd love to see you back at the Manx, or if not, then back for the parade here at the TT, because you're one of the characters, and you do have that claim to fame. I won the only historic TT 500.
And the only American to win a TT.
Exactly.
And the only matchless G50 to win a TT.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Check it.
Is it right? Okay, well, you've got me there. Thanks, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you're probably right. Thanks.
Dave Roper. That was.
Got me stinking now. Yeah, well, I'm not certain of that. I couldn't say, but I think so. I think that's the idea. Yeah. Well, I think she'll be going tomorrow night, because I think she's probably got to go. Okay. Well, Conlaw, you've had a rare day. You've been travelling marshal to the Northwest and then in the parade here. And 2 TT wins, nobody can take those away. What do you remember fondly about those days?
You know, believe it or not, it's 20 years ago this year. The first one was 20 years ago, 1982, 1983. The road, the people, it's all the same. It all comes back to you. The 6 laps now, that might be a bit of a problem, all right. So it might.
Now, they were lightweight wins, weren't they?
250.
And
250,
what,
good
EMC
class.
was it?
Wadden Ehrlich for the first one and EMC, both road tax bikes.
Pretty good, the old tandem twins then, were they, at the time?
That was the early years, and it was hard to keep them going. So there were a lot of mechanical problems, but when they did go, they had a wee advantage.
But you also rode 500 Suzuki's RGs, didn't you, around here?
350 as well. It was a good class at that time. It was a good entry here at that time.
Was that the TZ Yamaha?
TZ 350.
Water cooled?
Water cooled.
Yeah. Well, the 500
Loved
Suzuki, you looked at home on that, but then you had a bit of a spell in the following year. You couldn't ride properly, could you? Banged your feet, hadn't you, or your legs?
Both my femurs.
Yeah.
Modified them a little bit.
I remember you having the footrest moved forward, or back, something.
We came here and I still hadn't been racing at home. We used, I can admit it now, it was 20 years ago, a Manx road sign. They were made in aluminium. We used that to put the footrest lower and further forward and mount the peg on that. But it got us round anyway.
So we need to send you the bill for that then, do we, from the Manx taxpayer?
Right, I'll give you the address later on for that. No, I enjoyed my day. That was a good day, it was good weather.
Who were your main opponents then, Brian Reid, or?
See, at that time in the 250 you had Peter Wilde, a good runner, Steve Tonkin, Norman Brown, hell of a good runner, Graham McGregor,
yeah.
Tony Rutter, all good goers. A lot more besides. So there was the 350, virtually the same people.
But now the 250 class looks as if it's on the way out at the TT.
No. I'm sorry to see that because I think there should maybe be more proper racing bikes. And I think that circuit dictates more or less proper racing bikes. There's a lot of road bikes creeping in. There's a lot of faults creeping in. I don't like to see gearbox type faults and stuff that soar on those big road bikes.
It's a question of whether there's enough 250s to have a race or whether there's enough races to warrant keeping 250s going. It's a very difficult situation.
It seems to be, that's the way it's going on the world scene. 2-strokes are on their way out. Not acceptable anymore.
Environmentally unacceptable.
So there's not any proper races for them. There's not any proper prize money. The grids are smaller, and for the competitor, it's not worthwhile. For the promoters, it's not
okay,
really.
but you can't deny the speeds out of what are road bikes are absolutely phenomenal. 126 mile an hour lap.
Absolutely phenomenal. Chris Onstay was at the Northwest. He got pole position. He won this production race the first time there, and I don't know him very well, but I do know that that bike the previous Tuesday was a sponsor's road bike. It was no trick secret machine. It was a road bike.
And similarly with Richard Quayle at this meeting, he took one out of Padgett's shop, 5th in the Formula 1.
So it was a sponsor's road bike. They did a bit of farting about on it.
Yeah.
Just basics, whatever they can do, and the time they had. Went through the speed trap at about 185 mile an hour.
You wouldn't have liked to have been on it, would you?
No, I was happy enough to do travel at Marshall and follow.
I bet you were doing about 150 yourself.
Funny enough, that's something I do enjoy now, my travel at Marshall job at home.
You not fancy applying for a job here doing it?
I've been trying for the last 10 or 12 years to get in.
Oh well, keep working.
I can't.
Nice to talk to you.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, the commentators are still getting old.
Yeah, telling me. Older and fatter.
Hi. The whole thing went well.
They shamed you into it, huh? We've got a friend over here, 600 for Ah, great. And Craig McLean rode today. He came in 16th. Okay. He came over here without a bike. He had put in an entry. He didn't have a bike. And then just started asking around.
Last time we came back for a Saturday, 3 or 4 bars on it. I think it's worth Saturday.
Thank you.